If you understand what I'm saying, give me a 1. You can give me a 2, or you can give me another kind of 1. Nah, we're not. At least I'm not. I'll admit it. I'm the worst marketer in the world. I know how to rank shit, but I suck at marketing. At any rate, welcome to Wednesday's Hump Day Hangouts. Your reason to like Wednesdays. That's why you're here. So let me just go from left to right as I see you and introduce my partners and see what they have to say. Hernan, what's up?
What's up, dudes? I'm good. I'm excited to be here. It's always good. It's always good to be on Hump Day Hangout. It's always good to hang out with you guys and to give back a little bit to the community that gives us so much. So really excited to be here.
Cool, Chris. What's up?
Been good here. Doing something really exciting at the moment. Building my own ghetto gym because well, Corona is like all the restrictions. Everything is still shut down and like. I don't know, like currently it's like till 5th of April or something like that. And I bet it's going to be till May or something like that. So I'm not waiting any longer. So like I'm looking forward to squatting again, proper bench press and stuff. So super excited.
Cool. Bradley, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Busy as all hell, but it's exciting. Got a lot of things cooking. So glad to be here.
It's good to be busy. And as you can see, guys, it's Groundhog Day in Costa Rica. For over a year, I've been showing. Wait a minute. I don't want to give you too much light because I don't want you to think that Marco's heading off into the light. But you guys can see it. It's beautiful. It's sunny. What can I say? It's the price I pay for the life I live. Guys, it takes work to do this shit. It's not easy and it's not free. But once you get the process in place, then the process takes care of everything, so you can step away and enjoy some of this. You go off to the beach, you go off to the mountains, you go and explore the jungles and the volcanoes and everything that this beautiful country has to offer. At any rate, if you want to know more about how it is that we do the do, then head on over to mgyb.co. That's our store. That's our done for you store. I just literally got done ordering a link building package from MGYB about an hour ago. So it's exactly what we use. It's in the process. It's everything that we give you. And we give it to you here for free. We tell you what the process is. We're not going to show you how, but we tell you why. It's something nobody else will do. Nobody will tell you why. We tell you why. We're directly affecting the algorithms in a positive manner rather than in a negative manner. That's what we're doing. How we do it? Well, it's mgyb.co. But if you want the secret sauce, we're not going to give you that. How it's all put together. No, we'll put it together for you. If you want the training, then you have to come to semanticmastery.com, our mastermind, or you join the Heavy Hitter Club, or you join our if you're not joined, but order our done for you services. And please, if you're listening to this, it's like Hernan said, we want to give back to the community. The whole purpose for this from day one was to give back to the SEO community that has given us so much. And so this is it. So head on over to YouTube, help us grow and help us stay free. Click that like button, hit on that bell so you get a reminder whenever we're coming on. Please do that. Help us out, right? We help you, so please help us. And without further ado, let's. Wait a minute. I gotta tease it. Because end of the month. End of the month, Bradley. We were just talking about it yesterday. You want to steal the thunder?
End of the month.
Month.
Because of I'm sorry. I was thinking you were talking about the end of February that just occurred. I didn't realize you were talking about the end of March. So yeah, we're there's Adam. He's coming now. He must got his hamsters running fast enough on the wheels.
Don't let him in. Just keep him waiting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I understand what you were saying now. So yeah, the end of this month, Syndication Academy relaunch. Let's just lay it out there. Say it. Completely 100% updated for 2021, and with a unique kind of presentation twist that we haven't done in the past, and should be good. I'm really looking forward to it. This is kind of a new way for us to present training material, and hopefully it will be received well. We'll find out, but it's going to be awesome because we put a lot of additional methods and techniques and such into Syndication Academy this time. So
we presented her already. right? In Hump to Hangouts, we just want people to know it's launching. We're actually going to do it. It will first be done internally before it goes public. Take advantage of the internal launch because that's always a better price point than it will be when it goes public. The person doing the training, she was brought in because she was an outsider, because we wanted someone who had never seen the training, didn't know what semantic mastery was, didn't know what SEO was. We wanted her in. We wanted her going through the training and updating the training while she was going through it. Why? Because we want her available in Facebook, and she is going to be available in the group, so that when people come up with problems, she will know in detail how to deal with the problem. And she will be there to help people get through the problems. We have over 300 websites, I believe it is, as webinar updates, guys. We have over 300 websites that she will be going into and showing you how they can manipulate it, how they can be manipulated and added to your internet profile to broaden the entity. And that's what this is all about. The name of the game now is who has the best entity in the web. That's the name of the game. The person who builds the strongest, most powerful entity, rounded out in the way that Google expects, is the one who wins. And one of the foundational principles of our method is Syndication Academy. It's a must. That's why we put it into the SEO Shield. You have to have it. You have to present a proper entity to Google that can be trusted and that can become authoritative over time. That's what this is all about. Don't expect to rank for gold.
Or DUI Attorney Toronto.
3 posts and 1 syndication network, not gonna happen. Don't expect to rank like plumber in DC plumber. That took a lot of work. It's what we call now the SEO Power Shield, and then embed runs, press releases. You remember Rob was doing press releases like daily.
Yeah.
And hammering it with link building, but it became the entity for the keyword. DC Plumber, the keyword, and DC Plumber, the company, are inextricable right now, right? The relationship that was created is so great. So this is one of the things that you can do with Syndication Academies, build that entity. It's coming. Essie is wonderful. She's great at communicating. It's just different. And we hope that people can really benefit from having her available like every day. She'll be in there and she can spend an hour in there or however long it takes to answer questions. Then there will be monthly, or I don't know how often it'll be updated. We will figure it out, guys, but it's coming. I'm really excited about this. Get on the Syndication Academy train. Adam, anything you'd like to add?
No, couldn't help myself. That's it, man. Yeah, I've been having some weird internet issues. They're doing construction around our place, and just like 3 minutes before, posted a video on Facebook inviting people to come into Hump Day Hangouts, and then tried to do anything else and it's dead. So happy to be here. I think you guys covered it. I'm pumped about Syndication Academy. There's a lot of good stuff in there that people are gonna want to go over, and then with the continuing updates, it's just gonna be badass. So that's all I got for today.
Cool. Then without further ado, and if nobody else has objections, let's move on to the questions.
All right, let me grab the screen. Oops, wrong button. You guys are seeing it now, correct?
Looks good.
Yes.
I don't know why it stopped with the damn, I don't know which ones are which anymore.
I think it's a setting, but let me take a look because I had to go in and you can do something. But
so it was you that changed some shit around.
I didn't do shit. No, Gordon R is the last one, the long one. Hey guys, I need your help with 2 quick questions. Yeah.
All right. So, hey guys, need your help with 2 quick questions. Number 1, I'm presuming that having lots of 4- and 5-star reviews still has a significant effect on getting a GMB listing into the 3-pack. But if the business has just average quantity and quality reviews compared to their competitors, can you offset that deficiency and still get into the 3-pack by targeting the optimized listing with pressed releases, backlinks, RYS, Google Drive Stack, etc. from MGYB? Yeah, I mean, I think reviews are a small part of ranking in the 3-pack, but I don't know how much of a part of it is. I don't think it's a huge part of it. Marco might have more insight on that than I do. Where I find reviews mostly beneficial is not necessarily, I mean, it's great for social proof. There's no question, right? It helps to improve click-through rate if they got good a good number of reviews and obviously high rating in those reviews, it helps to entice the click, right? It helps to cause a visitor, a Google user, to want to click through to that, which is a great SEO signal in itself, right? That engagement signal. But as far as the reviews themselves having an effect on the SEO, I don't know how much of an effect the reviews actually have on the GMB, but where I find the most benefit is by going in and replying to those reviews and working keywords in and location names into the review reply, if that makes sense, because it's a way to inject additional relevancy, either geographic or topical relevancy, into the reviews themselves. That typically, if you read a lot of reviews, a lot of times the keywords aren't mentioned or the locations aren't mentioned, and so you can work those in. It's just another opportunity to squeeze keywords and location terms into the GMB. So that's how I find it, but I don't know about how much. Maybe Marco, can you answer? Do you have any idea how much reviews affect GMB ranking?
Not rankings, but they do become link building targets, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a great place to start. That's a great way to use them, is as link building targets. That's how I use them. They're great for press release targets, also for press releases, which is also link building. And so you can think of them that way. Now, the quality of the reviews only matters like when you're seeing a lot of 4 and 5 stars, when people are looking. I talked about this the other day, I believe, in a webinar. My daughter really pays attention to that, and she really looks at the reviews to when she's trying to buy something, like in Amazon. Like, how many good reviews does it have? How many bad reviews does it have? Why are they getting bad reviews, or why are they getting such good reviews? Or are they just generic reviews that these people are getting? And so that's when it matters. And then that CTR, it's not cause and effect. It could be correlational. In other words, if you have a lot of quality reviews, then, as you said, people are likelier to click on it. But as far as ranking, like, I've seen people with no reviews rank over people with 300 something reviews.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that too. And that's why I mentioned, I don't know how much the review now, again, by being able to use those reviews as an opportunity for link building, I didn't mention that, but yeah, that's true. And that's, a lot of times, by the way, like, Press Advantage will write press releases and actually quote a review that they pulled from the GMB anyways for that company. So that's a great opportunity to link to the share URL for that review. But also, like I said, just work, replying to reviews gives you that opportunity to add additional keywords and location relevancy. So I think that helps as well. That's a habit that we do for my clients. So the second question was, I'm presuming that daily GMB posts are allowed. Yes, and I recently read that posting daily on GMB will significantly help the listing to rank higher, and that optimizing the post for your targeted search terms will also significantly help with ranking. Are either or both of those true? And if so, how much of an impact will either have? Gordon, I would suggest that you join the local GMB Pro course that we put out, because it's all specifically about GMB and how to get, just absolutely crush a GMB location. Doing nothing but stuff inside of GMB. Like, you can forget about even if it has a self-hosted website and everything, but what I'm saying is local GMB Pro is all about how to optimize and get results from the GMB and the assets that Google provides as part of the Google My Business profile. So I would encourage you to check that out because it sounds like you've got some GMB work on your hands. So Marco, what do you want to say about the post?
How much can I say outside of local GMB Pro? People have paid really good money for that course, right? And how much are we willing to give away for free? You have to look at what your competitors are doing to see what it is that you have to do to compete in the space. Check to see if what frequency of posting you should have. There's so much information that you can gather from a GMB and from insights. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I can't really say much more without just giving away too much. How we do the post. It's not just a matter of posting, but how we post, how each one is done, how we approach the entity, the press releases, everything goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for that. Dan says, hey, gent, so I bought an SEO Shield for a business who is looking to generate monthly membership signups. It isn't a local business really, though I am wondering if I should order a postcard and set up a GMB, even though it really isn't a local service type of business. My SEO Shield is already in queue without an address or phone number. Any advice is appreciated. I mean, there's a lot of benefits for having a GMB associated with a brand, period, even if it's not a typical local business. I'm going to pass this one over to Marco because he uses GMBs for, you know, even national or global type projects. So Marco, what do you say? What can you suggest to him?
Well, it's the entity, right? Look, Gordon, I'm sorry, Dan, we recently did charity webinars. I suggest that you go and make a donation, send an email to the email that's provided up. I'll write it later. And really focus on what it is that we're talking about, because I talked about how to use a GMB a little bit, not only to solidify the entity, but in the entire process, and why you should do this, and why even if you don't have a local company, you should have a GMB, why you should have a listing, why it's important with Google to have a listing, why it's important in your schema for your organization when you're presenting everything to Google, and why you'd be outdoing everybody else.
There you go. And that's so just to clarify, Dan, if you, what I would suggest, if you plan on getting a GMB, is contact MGYB support and find out, you know, how far they've gone with your order. Because if it hasn't been really started yet or anything, like, I don't, and again, this is just a suggestion, depending on where they are with the progress of your stack, your drive stack, you may be able to ask them to pause it and wait until you get the GMB. That way it's worked into the GMB. Now, if it's already been started or completed or whatever, then that may, you know, unfortunately, that it may be too late. But it would be worth at least a support request to find out if it's possible, if, you know, where it is in it, you know, in how far along it is, and if it can be paused until you get the GMB, if that's what you plan on doing. That would be a suggestion.
I would tell him yes. I mean, we would totally pause it. We would give him 30 days, actually, right? 30 days to submit the information. If you haven't submitted it in 30 days, then you will get refunded and you have to start again. But just so you know, we can hold it. It's not as if that, no, we can't. Just write to Rizal. Just write to Rizal. She's fantastic in support, man.
Yeah, support at mgyb.co. Okay, next would be, I also purchased an in-depth keyword research, and I'm assuming that the next thing to buy would be a link package to hit the RYS stack with. Any suggestions on what else I could be doing? Fortunately, I have a monthly budget to spend on MGYB. Yeah, that's great, Dan. And that's what I can't tell you how many times when we talk about, you know, the SEO Shield, the Power Shield, you know, and everything that we talk about entity-based SEO, that you should have a budget from your client's retainer every single month that's dedicated towards link building and embeds and that kind of stuff, press releases, whatever. So it's good that you have that, because, you know, that's the way to get results, is to use that. So you just work that right into your proposal initially whenever you're signing a client, which it sounds like you did. So that's great. You know, I would go through either the SEOshield.com. If you haven't already gone through that, it's free. It's like a 4-day training. Rob put that together that will tell you like the best practices and how to get the most use out of it and that kind of stuff. The other one would be semanticmastery.com/process. That's behind an opt-in now. So you still have to exchange your email for it. But I did a training on that specifically. Again, it's high level, but I specifically talk about how to, you know, how I cycle through link building and embeds and things like that, and, you know, choose different target URLs, different you know, groups of URLs to hit at different times and that kind of stuff. And I talk about that on kind of a high level through the process training, the entity-based SEO process training, which again, you can find that at semanticmastery.com/process. I believe that redirects to a opt-in page now, but you can get access to it just by opting in. And I would recommend you go through that, because it'll give you some kind of link building schedule, like link building and embed, like off-page SEO schedule. It's just a mock schedule. You can modify it to, you know, your specific needs or to the project's needs. but it'll just give you some ideas on how to cycle through and constantly be applying pressure to your entity assets. And that's the way that we suggest doing it. Any comments, guys?
Yeah, I suggest go to the SEOshield.com. I posted it on the page. It tells you why. We're not going to tell you how, but it tells you why. And everything that you build off page, away from your money site, becomes like a target for your link building and for your press releases and for everything you do, so that it powers up into your money site. So it's just a fantastic way. But don't just think that it's one link building run. It depends on the competition. It depends on the keyword that you're doing. It depends on the niche. It may take a steady diet of this every month until you're getting the results that you want, and then you want to let the natural traffic and the natural link building take over. If anything starts to slip, you just start over again. More press releases, more link building, more embed runs, and more link building. I mean, it's exactly the way that we do it.
Yeah. Next question. This is a question for me for sure. So, he says, hey guys, wondering if you know of any good LinkedIn automation lead generation software systems to help get more clients for our agencies and clients. That's a great question. In fact, I have just started, I just signed up last week and am in the process of working on, developing my own LinkedIn strategy, because I just launched my new agency less than 3 weeks ago. And I'm going to give a real attempt this time on LinkedIn for prospecting. Over the years, I've not done a whole lot of LinkedIn stuff. Number one, I just never had a desire to do it. It's just like Facebook. I'm not a big fan. But in the past, I've made some half-assed attempts to do prospecting on LinkedIn, and I never stuck with it long enough to get any results, to fine-tune my pitch, my messaging, all that kind of stuff. So this time I'm going to give it a full-hearted effort and stick with it long enough to try to get some results, or prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that it just isn't going to work in the industry that I'm in, which is tree care contractors. Although I've just from some very, very basic stuff that I've done over the past week, I've seen some promise already. So I'm going to stick with it. That said, I would suggest a couple of things. I came across a really, really, really good resource. It's called the LinkedIn Bible. BAMF.co, I think, is the name of right there, BAMF.co. And it's called the LinkedIn Bible. There's a collection of 5 books, but he's got a, free plus shipping funnel, essentially. I'm sure you're aware of that. Anyways, just go check it out. It's called the LinkedIn Bible. It's a series of books that you can get, I think, the first one for free, but then you got to pay for the others. It's really good. There's a shit ton of information in there about how to optimize your profile, how to start growing your network for your specific industry, chosen industry, or how to do that for clients, that kind of stuff. So there's just a lot of real, guys, it's massive. The book itself is, 400 pages or something. It's ridiculous. But a lot of that screenshots and things like that. Anyways, it's really good. I just started going through that just a few days ago, it was over the weekend, I think, that I started. It's all a blur. I'm working 14 hours a day right now, but it's really good. As far as that, that's just going to give you some strategy. Now, he recommends some tools and stuff in there. The tool that I decided to go with is called octopuscrm.io. That's this one. And I went with this one just because it's got all the features that I need. I'm using High Level as my agency marketing automation platform. And so I didn't really need like another full-on CRM and everything else, but Octopus CRM actually has one of the better monthly pricing options. A lot of the other ones are $100 a month. This one's $49 a month. And just a quick tip, if you sign up for the free trial, you will get an email in a couple of days with a 5% off coupon. That's 5% off the monthly. So if you go with the monthly at $49.99, and you get the 5% off coupon, it's only a couple bucks off, but just letting you know. Or you can go annual when it's like $25 per month, but you have to pay for the whole year. So anyways, I would try that. There's a few other ones out there too that I've looked at. but this is the one that I decided to go with. I haven't really started any serious prospecting on LinkedIn yet because I'm still kind of in the learning the platform phase, as well as optimizing my profile and developing my messaging sequence, which I'm already testing that using email and SMS and cold voice drops through High Level. So once I have that kind of dialed in a bit, that messaging, I'm going to apply that to LinkedIn, and obviously might have to tweak it a bit for the LinkedIn platform, but I think that's what I'm going to be doing. So I will have more information as far as experience with LinkedIn and this CRM and or automation app in particular, but it's going to be a few weeks. This is not, this LinkedIn is another prospecting avenue for me. It's not my primary source, if that makes sense. So anyways, does anybody else have any suggestions for that?
They give you a free pro trial every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well for me. So well, in fact, that I did pay a couple extra months. I mean, what I wanted to see is how good it was for prospecting, right? And I did it in the Virginia area. I got a bunch of people like from Virginia, DC. So I mean, there's just a lot of SEO leads and related, like marketing. There's a lot of things in marketing that you can do. And then, like, I don't know how much to give away. I'll give it away. What I'll do is I'll just change the city that I'm in. I'll change the phone number, because then that's the leads that you'll get leads from there. So if you're around New York and you can meet with people, or Chicago, LA, whatever. I mean, it's just a really good venue to get in front of people. You will have to like outbid others. I never send in, I don't want to get too technical. I never send in the bid. I say to people, let's get on a call. Let's talk, and then we'll see what it is that you need. Because I can't tell you exactly. I can't charge you like $15,000 and not know what it is that you need. And so you get them on the phone, and they get to know you. They get to know who you are. They've already done their research on what it is that you do. And the closing rate is phenomenal when you get in front of these people.
You were talking about LinkedIn Pro Finder though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually bought a course from Josh Harris about that, called Pro Finder Profits, over a year ago now. But the niches in there, I mean, unless you're just looking like, as an SEO agency, or a marketing agency, you can get, you can find people that have submitted proposal requests for SEO or marketing services. Specifically, I'm in, looking for tree contractor clients, and there's no Pro Finder options for that. So I never ended up doing anything with it, but it looks like you could get quite a, there's not a whole lot of people competing on this. At least there wasn't a year ago when I joined that program. It didn't really fit my model, so I really never did anything with it, but you ought to check into that. As far as just doing flat out outreach, and I think I said when I was talking about this earlier, $49 a month. It's only $39 a month, and that's on the monthly. It's why part of the reason I joined this one as opposed to some of the other ones was because it was so much less expensive. And with the unlimited account, it gives you Zapier, it will allow you to connect to Zapier, which will push the data from this app into High Level, which is really where I want it, because High Level is what I'm using for my CRM and pipeline and all that kind of stuff. So that's specifically why I went with the unlimited, was so that I could connect it to High Level via Zapier. But yeah, Pro Finder, as far as I know, from what I hear, there is quite a bit of work that can be had from LinkedIn, like to get clients from, and you can even sell, if you get good on with LinkedIn Pro Finder, you can actually provide that as a service for, businesses that are looking for, people that are looking for clients. Essentially, you could manage Pro Finder stuff for clients, is what I'm saying. And that's kind of what that whole Pro Finder Profits course was from Josh Harris, was all about, doing that, managing that for others. Again, it just didn't fit any of my chosen industry, so I didn't do it. But you might want to look into that as well.
How it works is you get a notification anytime that there's a lead available in your area, and you just go in and you write an email to that person, get that person to contact you. Be really good at getting in front of people and having them, get them on that phone. And then if you're good on the phone, you can close them.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a great question, by the way. I'm just, like I said, just starting to get into LinkedIn now. I think it's promising. So I'm going to give it a real effort, and I'll share what I know when I know it. Okay, so this was a question posted by Marco, but it was from another group or something, from Nicole Campbell on Facebook. I am creating a web platform that will allow for dealers to sell their vehicles online. However, regarding the marketing, I would like for their cars to be marketed through Facebook Marketplace and a ton of other platforms. I'm not sure how to go about doing this. Do I automate my platform, or do I automate each vehicle that is uploaded on the platform? If I automate each vehicle, that is a multi-tier tier syndication or a single tier? Yeah, that's kind of a tough question because I'm not sure I fully understand what she's asking to do. Marco, do you want to take this one since you were aware of it?
Well, first she needs a website, and it's not a cheap website that Nicole is needing, because this website is going to need to do like a few things. For example, the vehicles that she wants to sell. Let me go back and like look at this question again, because that's what it is. So she wants to show the vehicles online, but she also wants them in the Facebook Marketplace. So you want a way to automate going into the Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if there's any way outside of the Facebook API to go into the Facebook Marketplace. I don't think that IFTTT, Zapier, but you'd have to look. So here's the thing, Nicole, and this is why I got into this. Our support, both MGYB and Semantic Mastery, are not there to give you SEO advice, right? Which this, or marketing for that matter, or anything having to do with how to build your website and how to hook all this up. What they're there to do is to create a done-for-you syndication network, but it can't be customized in this way. We have a set number of profiles that we do this with. Facebook Marketplace is not one of them. So you're talking about something that's outside of what we do, outside the specs or the spectrum of what it is that we do. So she wants to know, do I automate your platform? Yeah, you would automate your website to hook into the Facebook Marketplace, if that's even possible. Again, API, there has to be some kind of way that you can hook into the marketplace so that you can display your vehicles into the marketplace, and then also syndicate out into your syndication network. All right. Now, is this a multi-tier syndication? No, it's a single tier, because we're still talking about building the entity and pushing whatever it is that you're doing, your product, service, or whatever it is, out into your entity. You're not even at the multi-tier syndication level at that point. It might require a multi-tier syndication network depending on the automobiles. Are they used? Are they new? What kind of automobiles? Is it local? Is it global? What are you doing? And I can tell you that if you don't already have the website and you're looking to have it developed, it's not done on pennies. This is an expensive website that you're talking about. It's a one-of type of thing. I mean, you can look to adjust the template to do what you need it to do. I wanted to answer this for this reason, because there's no way that our support can be expected to give you an answer for any of these questions, since they simply don't know. I don't even know. I'm just giving you what I would look to do. I would create my own custom theme, my own custom template, my own structure, like we did with MGYB, to do the things that I wanted to do. Hiring a developer to do that is going to cost you. If you've already done it, now your job is to go and look to see how you can hook into the Facebook Marketplace, because it's not one of the places that we go into.
Yeah.
And then from there, once you have your SEO Shield in place, look at how to incorporate whatever it is that you're doing into that. That would be my answer for her.
Yeah, I mean, you could always go to something like Upwork and look for, Facebook developers, for example, or Facebook app develop. Like, I don't know, I don't do shit on Facebook, so but I'm sure you can find somebody on Upwork that to let you know whether that's even possible. Or you could probably even do some research on your own and figure out. I don't know. I sell real estate that I flip, vacant land on Facebook Marketplace, but we post those manually. We don't do a lot of, a shit ton of volume. So there's really no reason for us to automate that. But I don't know. I don't think I've seen in any of our automation apps the ability to automate a Facebook Marketplace post. posts to profiles and posts to groups and that kind of and pages, yes, but I don't think I've ever seen that option anywhere in all the automation apps that I've used. Not saying it can't be done. It may be possible. I've just never seen that. So I don't think it's common. So again, I would recommend that you just do some research first to see if you can automate Facebook posts, Facebook Marketplace posts, excuse me, first. And if you can't determine whether that's possible or not, then, you know, again, go to like Upwork or something and post a job describing what it is you're trying to accomplish. And then you'll start getting some replies back from people that, you know, depending on how you post your job in Facebook or Upwork, excuse me, I usually do invitation only. So I literally go look for people that say something in their profile that would, you know, lead me to believe that they're able to help. And then I send them the invitation to review the job posting specifically. And that way I don't get like 8,000 replies that I have to sift and sort through. I'm only getting replies from people that I hand selected. But that might be a good opportunity for you to find out. Just have some conversations with some people that understand Facebook development stuff, and they'd be able to steer you in the right direction. And then you might even find somebody to be able to develop what you need right there on the Upwork platform. Any comments?
No, that's perfect.
Okay. Driven to rank. All right. He says, I just purchased the Power Shield. Can I use it on a website that already had a Google Drive and IFTTT set up from another vendor? Or should I use it only on a site that doesn't have those things set up? No, you can use it for the same site. It's probably done a hell of a lot better too, since we did it. Not probably, I'm sure it is. But yeah, no, I'll let Marco take this one, but yeah, you can apply it to the same site. What do you say, Marco?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, they ask these questions and you can never be really sure, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure what it is that we're doing, or can I use it on a website that already had a Google Drive? Yes, because we will use that Google Drive and we will get the IFTTT login. So what you're missing is the G site, and if I'm reading this correctly, the ad ID, right? But don't use it on anything else, unless I'm misreading this.
Well, he's saying that he had a website that already had a drive stack that was built by some other vendor, as well as an IFTTT setup.
Yeah.
So he wants to apply the new SEO Power Shield that he bought from us and all of its components to the same website. And I've done that in the past, guys. I haven't bought from other vendors because I've been building them myself or trained a team how to build them since 2011. So I've never bought a syndication network or a drive stack from another vendor. That said, I have had some networks that were older that weren't set up correctly, or, things have changed or whatever. And for example, I've got a tree service, one of my tree service locations that I built this drive stack for way back in probably 2015 when I learned how to do that from Marco, before we had even launched RYS Academy. And I had built one. In fact, it was the training that I did, I remember specifically, it was for Culpeper Tree Service. And it was because I had built that for the training that I did for RYS Academy, because Dr. Gary did the training originally, but then people said they wanted me to do the training. So I went in and built a drive stack for Culpeper Tree Service. And long story short, that was built to those standards at that time. Well, things have changed a lot, as far as like how we build them now, the way they look, the interlinking has gotten a lot better, everything else. And so about a year ago, I had MGYB build another drive stack specifically for that brand. That particular brand got brought in underneath another brand, but I had a new drive stack built for that. I didn't get rid of the old drive stack. It's still out there. It's still, in fact, for certain keyword searches, you can still see on page 1 some of those files and folders and such. But I just had a new one built to kind of replace that one. But I just didn't de-index the other one or set it to private or anything, because there was really no, perhaps except for the name being changed because I brought that underneath another brand. All the other NAP data was the exact same. And Culpeper Tree Service is actually also a keyword instead of just a brand, right? Does that make sense? So it really didn't disambiguate or excuse me, ambiguate my brand when I changed the brand name, because all the other NAP data stayed the same. So my answer is I would just go ahead and apply the Power Shield to the project, even if you had the other stuff. You can decide whether or not the other stuff was toxic and you want to eliminate it or set it to non-public or whatever. That's up to you. We can't tell you that without looking at it anyways, but I can tell you if it was built by somebody else, it probably wasn't done right. So
yeah, we can't be responsible for what somebody else did. My main concern here would be, dude, don't create ambiguity. If you create ambiguity, it's going to kill whatever it is that you're doing. And it's really hard to disambiguate once you've done so.
So BB's up with a list of questions, many of which are hypothetical as always. No, I'm kidding. BB, what's up? He says, hey guys, have you ever tried a 301 redirect a domain with a single backlink from an authoritative site to the money site? What were the results? If not, then what should be the result? Yes, I've done that. In fact, I found a really good, it was a domain that was expired domain, but it had one backlink from Wikipedia. And that was it. It was one backlink, but it was from Wikipedia, like a real backlink from Wikipedia. And it happened to be for a landmark or something, some historical landmark that had a website at one time, but apparently they let the domain expire. And it was in it was in the Charlottesville, Virginia area. And I had a limo service company at the time that was a client of mine that was a limo service in Charlottesville. And so I found that expired domain with the one backlink that was on a page for a historical landmark in the city of Charlottesville. And so it just seemed like a great backlink. So I did that. I purchased, but if I remember, I can't remember if I just did a 301 redirect or if I set up an HTML page with the Wayback information, the original page content from the Wayback Machine, archive.org, right? And I think I set that up on an HTML Amazon S3 hosted, bucket hosted HTML page. So a recreation of what the Wayback Machine, archive.org, had as the content on there, but I stripped all the links out and everything else to where there was one backlink from that HTML page to my money site. And I saw like a 7-position jump in a matter of a week, which was really crazy. It was one keyword that I was targeting in particular with that test, and I saw a significant jump. So as far as I don't know if I've done any just 301 redirects, but it will pass. It will pass the page rank, through the redirect to your destination. If it is, a little bit is lost through a 301 redirect, but not much. So yes, it will pass. You want to comment on that one, Marco?
Yeah, watch and be careful, like how long the domain has been expired and how much has been spammed, because it could be that DA will disappear really quick.
Yeah.
And not only that, the page rank. So it depends on how much you're going to spend for that domain, what you're using it for. But if it has those really good link metrics, then yes. I built one up to like 70 domain authority once. And then once I got that far, Google for some reason came in and just smacked the shit out of me, and it got de-indexed. Well, of course, it was just total spam, because domain authority is a third-party metric. And like the only thing that you should be caring about, like, is it relevant to whatever it is that you're doing? And does it have good links so that those links are relevant to whatever it is that you're doing? So if you can find a website that's actually relevant and the links are relevant to whatever you're doing, it doesn't have to have direct relevance, but some relevance according to whatever it is that Google considers relevant, not Moz, not Majestic, not Ahrefs, nothing but Google. And then yes, it will have fantastic results. Wikipedia, any Wikipedia links that are especially related will have fantastic results. That 301 will have an effect. And then what you can do is boost that expired domain, because it's 301. So you're actually adding a layer of protection. Be careful though, because a penalty can pass through that 301 to wherever it's directed. So never direct it to your money site, of course.
That's why I mentioned the HTML page on an S3 bucket.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was my preferred method. I don't like the 301. I like to create those buffer pages, and there's, like, in my opinion, there's no better place to do it than an S3 HTML page. So I did a lot of that where I would buy expired domains and then just build a single HTML page with the content that you can scrape directly from archive.org. And it's just one page. It's just the root domain, whatever was on the root domain. You can recreate that and then strip out any navigation menu links and everything else to where there's one backlink on that page pointed, when it can be an anchor text link or however, you have to determine how you want to handle that. But that one link now, especially if it's anchor text and it's embedded within content that adds relevancy, it can be incredibly powerful. And in that HTML page becomes another target that you can just hammer with additional backlinks as well for, to power that up even further. So that's a good question. The next one was why, and this question, I've read it like 6 times now, trying to decipher it. So I'm not 100% sure I can fully understand the question, but I'm going to attempt it. I think what he's asking is, why will Google rank content that has maybe less content, but higher quality backlinks than long form content that might be considered like, a really in-depth article about this topic, but less backlinks? Why will Google and he says, isn't Google's purpose to give the best results? Yes and no. I mean, yes, Google's intends to give the best results, but one of the algorithm also determines through backlinks. Backlinks still a huge part of the algorithm on how things are end up ranking, right? And how they perform in search, I should say. Backlinks are still a huge part of that. This is definitely a good question for Marco, but just having good content or even the best content about a particular topic does not mean that you're going to rank for it. Because if you don't know how to structure the content properly, if you don't know how to do internal linking properly, if you don't do any external stuff, except for Jeffrey Smith, who is incredible at building page rank through internal link structure and how he stacks content properly through semantic, through what he knows, through how good he is. Jeffrey Smith, SEO Bootcamp's the only one that I've ever seen that can outrank, sites with very little to no external backlinks at all because of how he structures and he builds all his page rank through internal linking. So again, if you know how to do all that shit, then having really good quality content, you can rank well for it. But just having the best content on a particular subject or topic, if you don't know, like if none of the other metrics are there or signals are there, then it's not, chances are it'll never get found. So I don't know, Marco, how do you want to expand on that?
You mentioned the magic word, PageRank, which is the doorway into what Google is building, which is a ranking score. This is a good way to understand that no matter how much content you write, if you don't build backlinks, you're fucked until Google figures out what it is that you're trying to do. Perfect example, because you can write a whole bunch of content that nobody sees. This is what I tell people, like they want $1 million website that nobody is ever going to see. So they pay a whole bunch of money, nobody sees the website. And you have some garbage from 2000, right? That type of website that it's crazy, but it's converting like nuts. And you wonder, well, why? Why? Because all you're concentrating on is a pretty website that nobody will see, instead of focusing on converting the people that are coming to the website. Activity, relevance, trust, and authority, which builds page rank, it builds ranking score. He's hitting it with backlinks, which create more page rank, more ranking score. That's what we focus on: the entity, the activity, relevance, trust, and authority, building page rank, building ranking score.
Sweet, thank you. How come Google ranks pages with blocked membership content? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if it's a particular word like a brand name or a training course name or something like that, and there's not a lot of competition for it, then it can rank even if it's a blocked membership page, unless it's set to no index. And I've even seen Google ignore that no index directive before. So I don't know. I can't answer that. Can you, Marco?
No.
Okay.
I mean, what do you mean by blocked to membership? That doesn't mean that Google can't crawl the page and can't index the page and can't rank it. As long as the content is relevant, or if you built a whole bunch of we just talked about it, backlinks to it, then it has activity, relevance, trust, and authority because people are coming to the website.
I think what he's talking about is something like this, right? So like a blank membership registration page or something. You know what I mean? I think that's what he's asking about.
But he's getting activity.
Yeah. Okay, so Joey says, where do I sign up for Syndication Academy? Joey, well, syndication.academy. Just go to syndication.academy. That'll take you to the sales page if you want to join prior to the relaunch. But if you just want to wait till the relaunch, looks like Adam already got you. Looks like, ooh, we already have an early access landing page. Look at that. Adam thought of everything.
Yeah, no, I did it in the background during Hump Day Hangouts.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
I thought you were you had some foresight.
I mean, yeah, that's what I meant to say. I had it set up. I just need to finish off a couple things there.
Awesome. Well, look at that. See, ask and ye shall receive. There you go. Muscle slug. Nice. Not sure what a muscle slug is, but okay. I recently purchased the video mail prospecting system that Bradley had done, which is awesome, by the way. Yeah, wait. Soon I'm going to be adding an additional module to that, guys. And then we'll probably relaunch it. And not, you know, we don't do big launches anyways, but we'll probably reintroduce it to you guys, our audience again, once I do, because I just launched a new agency less than 3 weeks ago, and I'm doing serious prospecting, more so than I've ever done, like industrial strength. It's awesome and it's working well. And I've got a really nice little system that's working well for starting a conversation, using video emails and all kinds. Anyways, I'll cover that. I'm going to do an update to that training. And then we're going to reintroduce it to you guys when it's ready. So anyways, if you've already got it, you'll get the update when I add it. Okay. Back to the question. I have a technical question in reference to this. Bradley had mentioned during the training to set up a website for the personalized name domain to help with email delivery. Yes. For the life of me, I cannot figure out how to set the Cloudflare settings up to point to the website to work right. Normally you set the name servers on the domain to point to the hosting to work. I hope this makes sense on what I'm asking. Any suggestions on this? It's probably a simple thing that I'm missing with this. Thanks, James. Yeah, James, it's really simple. So you have, if you're buying a domain and you're going to build the website and you're going through Cloudflare, you just need to figure out what the IP address is for your server, your host, right? And then you set the A record in Cloudflare. So you set an A record, put the @ in Cloudflare as the subdomain or whatever. That just means it's going to read it. It's the root essentially, and then you put the IP address of your web server in the value field, and you hit you add that record. Then you can also add a CNAME record for www. And then put the same value, your domain name, in the value field. That's a CNAME record, and that will so that the website will resolve on both the root domain and the www version of it. That makes sense. Cloudflare has help files for that. And if those are confusing, you can always go to YouTube and say how to set up how to set up a domain on Cloudflare. And I'm sure there's a shit ton of YouTube videos out there that will show you how to do that. It's very simple. Once you learn how to do it, it's super, super simple. And I use Cloudflare for just about everything. The only thing, here's something else, and I mentioned this, and I'll give this away because I thought it was brilliant. I took a great email prospecting course from this. It was called Cold Email Mastery, and it's on gumroad.com. I don't even know the guy's name who did the training, but it was fabulous. It was a really, really good cold email prospecting course. I just took it like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. It's $125. It's worth it, guys. But he showed me in that training how to go buy the domain through Google Domains, through a G Suite account or Google Workspace account. And then if you buy that domain, like that you're going to be cold email prospecting with, buy the domain through Google Workspaces and through Google Domains, logged into a Google account. And I guess you don't have to be logged into a Google Workspace account. You could probably do it from your primary Google account if it's just a regular Google account. But go to Google Domains is what I'm saying. Purchase the domain that you're going to be using for cold email. If you've already done it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying going forward, or get another extension, a .org or a .co extension that you can redirect to your money site. And again, I'll cover some of this in the updating training for VLS or the video lead gen system. But if you buy the domain through Google Domains, it's like $3 more than it is at Namecheap, but it will automatically set up your there's a checkbox during the checkout process for purchasing the domain through Google Domains that will automatically set Google Workspaces up for that domain. And it will set up the SPF records, the DKIM records, and all these things that you need to ensure highest deliverability for your emails. So it's great. It was a great little hack for me. It was worth $125 alone for the cost of that course, was just to learn that, because it sets everything up, and it's right out of the gate. It's an initial validation signal to Google that, you know, you're a valid business and not just a spammer. One other thing that I want to cover just very briefly, and again, this is because I'm doing so much of this stuff right now, guys, but there's this great service, and I'll cover this in the update when I do that for the video lead gen system. Lemlist.com. This is a cold emailing platform. I'm not using it for that. I'm using it for because I'm using High Level for my prospecting platform. I'm using High Level. It's fabulous. semanticmastery.com/high level. You can get a 14-day free trial. That is it's great. I'm using that for my automation platform and all the stuff that I'm doing. But why I brought up Lemlist was because if you want to build the domain reputation of a new domain for cold emailing, they have this service in here. And if you go to their blog, they've got a great article about it. In fact, I'm just going to pull up the article because that would be better. Warm up email, and I'm going to put lemlist.com. Okay, right there. How to warm up your email account. And that's on blog.lemlist.com. So just go to Google and search for warm up email, lemlist.com, and it's the very first organic listing right there. Boom. Read this article. It's fabulous. When I came across this, I was like, man, it's brilliant. They have this, and you can join Lemlist for, I think it's $30 a month, just to use the LemWarm feature. And that's what I do. So once I have, you know, my domain set up, all the records in place and everything, then I add that Google Workspace account to Lemlist through the LemWarm feature. And what it does is it starts to send and receive and reply to emails from that brand new domain email address to other Lemlist users. And it's all done. It's all automated. It's done in the background. But what it does is it starts to build the domain reputation, so that when you are ready to start cold, like I would give it 30 days, at the very minimum, at least 21 days for the LemWarm system to warm the email up and build the domain reputation before you start cold prospecting emailing with it. But I want to tell you, like I said, I just set this up for the domain that I just started prospecting with about 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, really. And I only let it run on that for 2 weeks. And I just tested, I did a MX Tools, you know, email reputation test where you can send an email in and it will analyze the email and tell you what like the spam score is. And I got a 9.4 out of 10 yesterday and I literally just tested it yesterday, because about once a week I like to go in and check to see if my domain reputation is dropping. And I got a 9.4 out of 10. And I'm sending cold emails with a video email, just like I talk about in video lead gen system. I'm using sendspark.com or SendSpark, whatever. It's a AppSumo deal that creates the video email GIFs and all that. And that's what I'm using. And I put that right in the Gmail, send that out for cold emailing. And I'm still getting a 9.4 out of a 10, domain reputation score. So I would highly recommend that you check out Lemlist for their LemWarm feature. And then also check out, purchasing domains through Google Domains that you're going to be doing for, and set Google Workspace up on it is what I'm saying. So hopefully that makes sense. As far as Cloudflare, just go to YouTube. Cloudflare's got help files, but you can also go to YouTube and search, and I'm sure you'll find a tutorial on how to do what you need to do. Looks like Jason, oh my God. Gabe says, hello there. When mirroring the site, we're almost out of time, guys. 3 more minutes. Hello there. When mirroring the site into the Drive Stack, do the different stacks interlink? So for example, do docs from the widgets folder point to the green widgets folder docs? As far as I know, well, no. And Marco would be better to answer this one, but if you're siloing your Drive Stack using the RYS expansions like we teach, then no. And again, I don't build them anymore, so I'm not sure if I don't think they interlink, because the silos inside the Drive Stack are the internal links, or the links from the files within the Drive Stack, within the silo in the Drive Stack, should be only pointing to the target URLs on your money site, right? The same silos, not interlinking between them. if that makes sense. Yeah, and I can't, Marco would be better answering that one. I'm sorry. I can't give you a proper answer on that one because I'd have to go in and actually analyze one of my drive stacks. I haven't built one of those in so many years. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how through the expansion service, how they interlink those. I think they interlink all the files and folders within the same silo. They interlink those to each other, right? Does that make sense? But not cross-linking to other silos. And I'd have to confirm. I'd have to go look at it to confirm it, or Marco could confirm it, but he's not here. So, all right, one more. Jason says, "Just kidding. I'm really here for the This Week SEO with BB." Also, just kidding. He's talking about BB. Too many questions, BB. Just giving you a little crap and seeing if you can crack Bradley up. Yeah, thanks, Jason. All right, last one. Well, this is good. Cold email mastery. There you go. We need to get an affiliate link for that for real, because I keep touting how good that course is. It really is a good course. Last question, guys. Conrad says, "Hey guys, are some or all of the MGYB services for non-English sites as well? What would be different or good to take into account when ordering the project in other languages that's not English?" You can't. We only provide our done for you services in English. Hernan, if you're still available, maybe you can. I don't do anything outside of the US, but from what I understand, you can apply the SEO Shield that's built in English and still apply it to a non-English target, and it will still benefit it. But I don't do that, so I don't know if Hernan's still with us or not. Apparently not. From what I understand, it doesn't. You can have all English stuff on the SEO Shield pointing to a non-English site and still benefit from it. But I can't really answer that because I've never done anything outside, like SEO wise, outside of the US. Post this question in one of the in the Facebook group, and I'm sure that Rob or Marco could jump in and give you the correct answer. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks, Adam, for hanging out. We'll see you guys